Hello YouTube, today we're going to be building a junkyard LS. That's my brother-in-law, Anthony. That's his crank. Don't think wrong, but... And he's not wire brushing it, it's a nylon brush. Tell him to be careful. But we're building his junkyard LS for his... What is it? A 1971 F100 Ranger Custom. Something. And we're sticking an LS. Because there's a coyote here. This is a customer's coyote. We're Chevy fanboys, but we're gonna put a Chevy engine in it. 5.3 and in the future a turbo.
See how many people we could piss off.
So, how happy are you about this?
Pretty happy. Till it pops.
How about you, ma'am? Huh, ma'am?
What?
How are you happy about this F100? That's my sister, by the way. She's nasty.
Oh, I'm ecstatic to have a truck finally in my life.
Woo! We call this the LS junkyard block because it's a junkyard block. This block this engine came off of the LS Jeep we did. The LS Jeep got a 6.2 because it got overboard. And this one was a spare that we were going to rebuild later. But my brother-in-law says he doesn't have the money and he really wants to build a junkyard build. So we're building a junkyard build. We're reusing main caps, rod bearings. They all seem perfectly fine. Little,
Perfectly fine.
little scratches. Well, not deep scratches, but you can see marks, but you can't really feel them. This engine did come out running. It was smoking a bit, but it was smoking through the head seals, the valve seals. So we're gonna get the heads resurfaced, get a valve job and reseal them. Should be perfectly fine. All we're gonna do as new wise is put in new timing chain, a new high flow pump, and I think that should be it, and a fresh paint job. This engine does have, I would say, 280,000 miles on it. You can still see crosshatch on the cylinder walls, so it should be fine. It still had power when we took it out. The Jeep owner just wanted more power, more displacement. Don't beat that guy.
They should put a warning labels on these things.
Okay guys, we just finished cleaning the crank and the main caps. We did a plastic gauge check to check out how much clearance we have on the bearings, and we still have a lot of clearance. We're pretty good to go. So we're right at that, at the 38 thou, which is this one. Sorry for the lighting, but as you guys can hopefully see right there. So we're good to go. We're gonna take the crank back out, lube everything up, and get it torqued down again to spec. And the engine lube that we'll be using is from Federal. You can get this at your local Napa. And I also, after I add this, once it's in, I'll be putting some oil, some 2050, to help it out. Okay guys, we finished putting in the crank of the junkyard LS. That's all we're gonna do for today. As you guys saw, the specs on the clearance are in perfect specs. Crank moves freely back and forth. Has engine assembly lube in it. Poured a little bit of oil. So crank is torqued down using stock bolts. I know a lot of people will say that we're not supposed to. If I was building a new engine, I would not reuse the stock bolts, the main bolts. But since this is a junkyard LS build, we're doing it sloppy mechanic style. We know they will hold, but there you go, an update. I'll give you guys another update in the next video once we start putting in the pistons back in the block and torquing those down. But before we put them back in, we're gonna give them a clean, which we already have. Well, most of them, as you guys can see, cleaned them with Purple Power. They came out pretty nice. Rings move freely. Just got to give them another once over with brake clean just to be sure. But I'll be checking the ring gap just to see, because we might boost this engine in the future. We're not 100% sure still, but if it does, I want to know that the rings are perfectly gapped or close, or let me restate this, or at least we know the ring gap, so we know how much boost we can throw at this engine without hurting it, hopefully. Which we know, you know, it's a Gen 3 block, so rods aren't that, are they? These are the non-floating wrist pin ones, so these are pressed in wrist pins. So these rods do bend at around 600 mark. 600 horsepower is what a lot of people say under boost. So we won't be trying to push too much, you know, too much boost through that motor once, or through that engine once we get it built. But that'll be all. Have a nice day, you guys. That'll be all for today, you guys. Hope you guys enjoy the content. Please like and subscribe, and have a great day. And if you have any questions about the build or how we're doing it, or if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments below. And here's an update of the shop. Still burnt down. We're still not negotiating. We're still process of, you know, dealing with the insurance. So that's in a hold off. We can't start cleaning or anything. But thankfully, our neighbor loaned us out this beautiful shop of his. It works out of the other half. Thanks to Luke for loaning it out. And thankfully we have customers and we're always busy, so we bought tools what we could, and we started, you know, working in it. There's nothing else we could do. We're now bought a new frame machine. Well, not new to us, but not new. A new frame machine in Sacramento. Helped us all out. The people we bought it off of is really swell guys. You know, they're nice. We got to Sacramento at 9:30 in the night, and they helped us load it and everything onto the flatbed. Gave us a great deal for it, so we're really appreciative. But as you can see, we already have a couple of cars in here. That one needs a top half gasket kit for the oil cooler, which are common, as you can see, which are common on the 6.0s. To pull the tranny off of that one, won't get reversed. You know, little things here and there. That's the 71 F100 Ranger Custom that the LS is going into. And we just built this one here in a week. This used to be a it used to be a truck and chassis. Our buddy brought over his old tow truck. We took off the system and put it onto this truck. It's basically there. We just have to fix injector issues because it has a miss. Let me show you guys a little bit of this 71 F100. Pretty clean deal. My brother-in-law got it off of our buddy down the street. That owns a body shop. This used to be his. He just didn't have the time to finish it. Really clean truck, nice paint job. Hood's inside. Once the LS gets rebuilt, she'll be ready to put it in back, well, not back, but put it in this F100. Thank you guys, and have a nice day. Anything else you want to say to your guys' fans of the F100?
Sign up for my fans only, or only fans.
And what is this content gonna show?
The inside.
The inside of what?
That's to be found out.
Oh, you guys, you better be careful. Unless you like him, hit him up. Maybe he's show some of his feet, his bad ankles or something.
Relax yourself. But if you donate to the truck, he will show some ankle. Okay.
All right, guys. Peace.